I secretly loved him for 10 years. Never thought that even having his child was a mistake. He pushed me onto the operating table himself, saying, "Anyone in this world can have my baby, except you. Arrange the surgery as soon as possible." "Understood, Mr. Tony. We'll arrange it right away." Thank you." After the phone call was hung up, Tony Kamel curled up on the sofa in the room, staring at the person on the bed from a not too close, not too far distance, slowly falling into a deep sleep. After receiving Tony Kamel's order, the doctors quickly made a surgery plan, scheduling the surgery for 2 p.m. the following day. The doctors gathered early in the villa, and at 2 p.m. precisely, they were in the operating room set up in the villa with all the equipment prepared. "Mr. Tony, you should wait outside. Don't go in. It's better for the man not to witness such a scene." Tony Kamel pushed his hand away and said firmly, "I'm going in to stay with her." She had suffered so much when she was in China, all alone, helpless. Now, after everything, how could he not stay with her? "Mr. Tony, I said, let me in." His voice was heavy. He was well prepared and determined, and no one could change his mind at this moment. "All right." The doctor finally gave in and let him in. "Are we ready?" a doctor asked, and another nodded in response. "Ready? We can start." And so the surgery began, and Tony Kamel stood by, watching intently. However, during the surgery, no one expected the following scene. Isabel Lopez, while in a vegetative state, suddenly shed 2 tears from her eyes. It was unclear whether she was feeling something or not. "Wait, the patient is reacting," the lead surgeon suddenly said, and everyone quickly stopped, staring at Isabel Lopez's face. Hearing the doctor's words, Tony Kamel panicked and immediately rushed over. "What's going on? What happened?" When he heard that there was a situation with the patient, he immediately felt nervous and rushed forward to check. "It seems like the patient is reacting. She's crying," the doctor said. Tony Kamel followed their gaze and looked at her. Everyone seemed to be witnessing a miracle. They couldn't believe that a person in a vegetative state, unconscious during surgery, could shed tears. Could this be fate? The patient has felt something. Maybe she wants to keep this child, one of the doctors asked. These words made Tony Kamel shiver slightly. Could she really feel it? Isabel, is it you who felt it? Do you want to keep this child? Tell me. Just give me a little response. I will make them stop right now and keep the child. Tony Kamel kept saying to Isabel Lopez. Just as the doctors were about to ask Tony Kamel what to do next, suddenly, Isabel Lopez's hand moved slightly. Everyone was stunned. Quick, check it out. The doctors quickly began examining her body. One doctor flipped her eyelids. Another checked the medical equipment data. It was shocking for the patient to move during surgery. Doctor, what's wrong with her? What's her condition right now? After asking, the doctor was also a bit happy. After checking, they found that Isabel Lopez might have started to regain her physical functions. Mr. Tony, don't worry, this is a good sign. It means Miss Isabel might wake up soon. Then what's going on with her now? The patient just received the anesthetic, and with the effects of the anesthesia, she definitely can't wake up right now. Let's wait, be patient, and wait for the anesthesia to wear off. Mr. Tony, should we proceed with the surgery now? What for? Tony Kamel's mind was a bit disoriented, so when the doctor asked, he just followed along, completely forgetting about the surgery for Isabel Lopez. Should we continue with the abortion? The doctor asked. No need. Since she could feel it, she must want to not keep the child. If she wanted it, he would give it to her. Even if the child wasn't his, it didn't matter as long as she could wake up. Isabel Lopez woke up 3 hours later. Isabel. Tony Kamel stayed by her side, watching her closely. He saw her fingers tremble slightly, then her eyelids started to flutter. He immediately called her name, repeatedly. Isabel Lopez felt dizzy, as if she had fallen into a deep dream that she couldn't escape from. In the dream, she saw her mother and father, both smiling happily, looking toward her. But no matter how much she called out to them, they didn't respond. Then, she saw them turn and leave. She desperately chased after them, wanting to catch up. No matter how hard she tried, they remained far away from her. Dad, Mom, she called out, but still received no response. Then, in her line of sight, the familiar face of Jason Smith appeared. In the dream, he said to her, Any woman can give me, Jason Smith, a child. But only you can't. Get rid of this child. Isn't it just sleeping a few more nights with me? You've even worked out your problems. Isabel Lopez, you brought this on yourself. Isabel Lopez, I will never let you two mother and daughter go easily in this life. If you dare to touch Latina, I'll make your mother stop breathing immediately. Your mom and my dad always wanted a child, right? Well, now I'm fulfilling his wish. In an instant, so many words filled her mind, and she felt as if there was a ticking time bomb in her head, ready to explode at any moment. Boom! Her head finally exploded. No, don't do this to me. I don't want it. I don't want it. Jason Smith, I don't want to love you anymore. Loving you hurts too much. Maybe it's because I thought I liked you that caused such great harm later. I don't want this feeling anymore. I don't want this kind of love anymore. Jason Smith, I won't love you anymore. She screamed this in the dream. However, when she opened her eyes, she saw Tony Kamel. Isabel, you're awake? Tony Kamel was extremely excited and immediately pulled her into his arms, saying as he walked, Isabel, as long as you're awake, it's all good. You're awake. That's all that matters. Tony, you're hugging me too tight. I can't breathe. Tony Kamel froze when he heard her words. Isabel Lopez took advantage of the moment to gently loosen her hold on him. Tony, where are we? In the UK. After hearing his words, Isabel Lopez turned to look out the window and saw a large, tall phoenix tree swaying in the wind. The UK! They were in the UK! That was good, as long as it wasn't near that man. In China, B City. Where is she? With so many people in the hospital, how can you lose a patient? What are you all doing? The doctors and nurses in the hospital were all stunned, but when they saw the empty bed in the patient's room, their hearts began to tremble. What do you mean, we? You're so dedicated, yet you can't even keep track of the patient. Search. Find her right now, even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground. Find her for me. She, a person in a vegetative state, somehow disappeared from her hospital room. Jason Smith felt like he was about to break down. He really didn't know how such a thing could happen. He had just gone to the US, just brought William over. But when he returned to the hospital, the hardest thing to face was this situation. He had brought William back with so much hope, but the person was gone. Yes. The doctors and nurses immediately went out to search. Jason Smith collapsed on the bed, holding a pillow in his arms, his head sinking down. The pillow still held her scent. He felt discomfort and regret. Who was it? Who had taken her? He had to find them. He had to make them regret it. The hospital checked all the surveillance footage. Mr. Jason, it looks like someone intentionally sabotaged it. All our old surveillance cameras were deliberately destroyed. So you're telling me that the person is gone and it's not the hospital's fault, but someone is intentionally targeting the Smith family? Mr. Jason, In fact, it was true, but now he didn't dare to say it. Mr. Jason, you should calm down and think carefully. Think about who you've made enemies with. I think now that things have happened, we should focus on thinking about the best way to handle it. Though Jason Smith wanted to explode, he had to admit that the advice was correct. The main thing now wasn't assigning blame, but finding Isabel Lopez. Search! Keep searching! If you can't find her, I want all of you to apologize. Yes! The orders were quickly given. Jason Smith's men searched all of B City, but still there was no sign of Isabel Lopez. What? Jason Smith felt like the papers and cups on the desk were all swept off, falling to the ground with a loud crash. What are you all doing? You can't even find one living person. His heart was burning with anger. He was extremely agitated. He called me. The problem is this happened suddenly, and the other side has already taken precautions, so checking is not something that can be done quickly. It's still quite difficult. You mean it's likely we won't be able to find her? We'll do our best, but I suggest we don't limit the search to just B City. I think we need to expand the search area, he said. My gut tells me that Miss Isabel is no longer in B City. She has likely been taken to another place. If she were still in B City, how could they have no news at all? Then find her! Search everywhere! Yes. The orders were given, and the search began immediately. A week passed, but there was still no news of Isabel Lopez. During this week, Jason Smith spent almost all of his time in the villa where the two of them had lived, either in Isabel Lopez's bedroom or in the study. Looking at all the things in the house that were related to her, he felt incredibly uncomfortable, but if he didn't look, he felt even worse. He even felt like he was going crazy. One day, he locked himself in the basement, grabbed all the alcohol he had stored there, opened a bottle, and started drinking. After finishing one bottle, he opened another and kept drinking. He drank so much he felt like vomiting, but he still kept drinking, pouring more into his mouth. At night, he drove out, intending to go to the cemetery. The housekeeper chased after him, shouting, "Mr. Jason, Mr. Jason, you're so drunk. Don't drive. It's dangerous. Please come back. Please come back." But the car was already out of sight. That night, he stayed in the cemetery the entire night. The next morning, after sobering up, he woke up and realized he was in the cemetery. He was lying in front of his father's tombstone. He froze for a moment, then straightened himself up and stood up. "Dad, do I seem ridiculous now?" All he heard in response was the sound of the wind. He stayed silent for a moment before turning and leaving. Jason Smith, in the car, received a call from Latina Mera. "How do you feel now?" Jason Smith didn't immediately understand her words and was momentarily stunned. "What do you mean? Now that things have turned out like this, you still don't understand what I mean? Just say what you need to say. Don't keep going on and on. He didn't have time to chat with anyone right now." "What does it feel like to lose the one you love?" Latina asked him directly. How cruel he had been, using her as a backup, using her to provoke Isabel Lopez. Yet in the end, why couldn't he accept her? Why did he still hurt her so much, completely disregarding her feelings? "Latina, what do you mean by that? Are you saying that Isabel Lopez's disappearance has something to do with you?" When Jason Smith heard this, he finally understood her meaning and immediately asked, "Latina, you can be even more clueless, Jason Smith. I told you you were too cruel, and now I want you to experience the feeling of losing someone you love. I'm going to make you suffer, like I did." "Latina, you're asking for death." "Jason Smith, how does it feel now? Does it feel good? Does it feel satisfying?" Latina was completely enjoying the thrill of attacking and taking revenge, so no matter what Jason Smith said, she pretended not to hear and continued to say what she wanted to say, continued to attack him. "Latina, our grievances are between the two of us. They have nothing to do with her. I'm telling you, whatever problems you have, whatever grudges you hold, take them out on me. Don't involve her." "Where did you hide her?" Latina Mera laughed maliciously, then spoke into the phone. "Jason Smith, do you want to know? Do you want to know where she is? I won't tell you." "Hello? Hello?" Jason Smith still wanted to say something, but the call had already been disconnected. Damn. Jason Smith felt like he was going crazy. He had calculated and thought through everything, but never in a million years had he expected it to be Latina behind it all. He never imagined that it was she who had taken Isabel Lopez. Now that he had a lead, the first thing he had to do was find Latina Mera. His stomach hurt again, and his foot loosened a bit, causing the car to slow down slightly. He felt it was hard to bear, so he reached into the car to grab the stomach medicine he had prepared earlier. Finally, after rummaging through, he accidentally dropped it underneath the car. He looked at the position and stretched out his hand to grab it, but he forgot to pay attention to the road. When he opened his eyes again, he slammed the steering wheel, but there was no room to recover. Boom! With a loud crash, Jason Smith's car shot off the mountain road, tumbling down to the bottom of the hill. After a dizzying spin, the last image in Jason Smith's mind was Isabel Lopez's sweet, smiling face. He finally closed his eyes. 3 years later, at B-City's airport, Isabel Lopez returned from the UK with her daughter. She hadn't gotten off the plane yet. Isabel Lopez was in the bathroom, asking her daughter to wait outside. However, the little girl couldn't stay still. After waiting for a little while and not seeing her mother come back, she went outside to look for her. After leaving the bathroom, she played outside, thinking she would wait for her mom to come out. She was still holding the balloons Isabel Lopez had bought for her earlier, 2 of them, one sky blue and one green. These were her 2 favorite colors, but she accidentally let go. and the helium balloons flew out of her hands. The 2 balloons slowly rose higher and higher. No, no, my balloon, my balloon. Can someone help me? Please, can someone help me? Help me get my balloon, please. The little one watched her balloons float farther away, feeling desperate, and chased after them while calling out. But people at the airport, amidst the crowd, many passed by her, but no one paid attention. Everyone was in a hurry. Who would bother to notice this little child? The little one kept running, and soon 2 tears had formed in her eyes. Jason Smith had just arrived at the airport, preparing to board the plane. However, he didn't expect to come across this scene here. A little girl, anxiously chasing after 2 helium balloons. One was sky blue, the other green. For some reason, when he saw these 2 colors, they seemed a bit familiar to him, as if he remembered that he too liked these 2 colors and didn't mind them. Also, helium balloons like these were something he was familiar with. He reached out and grabbed the 2 balloons. The little one kept running towards him without hesitation. "Slow down, little girl, slow down," Jason Smith said, crouching down in place, waiting for her to come over. The little one, seeing someone holding her balloons, finally smiled. Her face was a mix of tears and smiles, which looked a bit funny. "Here, these are your balloons." "Thank you, Uncle." "No need to thank me." Jason Smith looked at her cute face and delicate features, and couldn't help but reach out to gently touch her, asking, "What's your name?" "Where are your parents?" "My name is Little Ana. My full name is Ana Smith." Ana Smith. Her last name was Smith, too. He thought to himself, "It seems we are really connected." At this moment, Isabel Lopez happened to walk down the corridor and saw this scene.